Begone foul ads. Ooh, frame rate seems slightly different. What is up with that? Let me check something real quick. If I flip it and flip it, there we go. Smoothed out for me at least. I don't know what that was about. Hello, folks. Hello, Mal and Jer. A very rare lunchtime stream for me. But I had the time. And I wanted to do a little switcheroo on the F1 that we built last night. Here it is. Built it with initially Alexotos granites and black snail, which is still here. I did do another quick swap last night to change all the switches to mode obscuras. Whoops, not that one. Which I do like. Oh, hold on. Didn't get the full setup functioning here. You can tell this is a more scuffed lunchtime stream. I didn't check all my sources. Which I do like. But I wanted to mix it up a little bit more. Because I also had on the table potentially for this build last night was Analog Dreams. And I think, like, I love this, and looking at it, I love it, and I've loved typing on it last night and this morning. But, you know, it is a lot of beige. And while I do enjoy kind of a more monochrome, simple kind of setup sometimes, I think I wanna spice this up a little bit. So I was thinking about going over to Analog Dreams and switches that might go well with that. And in my closet, still largely unused up to this point, are some HMX and Unikeys sugar rushes. So I want to give these a go. I've actually already tested it in the spacebar, and I actually really liked it in this context. So we're just going to do a little chill swap here. And I think, actually, let me grab, I think I have them up here. I know that Sugar Rush is more saturated than the colors in Analog Dreams. I mean, as you can see, like, this is more desaturated, and it's also got more green in it, kind of in this aqua. And this is a more purpley kind of pink, but I think it might be kind of fun, even though, again, we're not going to see the switches, but I like to kind of vibe out with my switches in the build as much as I can to kind of match a thing. Love Analog Dreams? Yeah, me too. And I haven't used it a ton. I used to have it on my blue, my kind of teal, aqua blue Cycle 7. And then I haven't been using the Cycle 7 much at all, so I took them off. I wish I had bought more PCBs for the Cycle 7 when it was a thing. Because one of my previous builds that I did on stream, that I think how long ago was that? I put in some Prevail Nebulas, I think, and the tightness of it warped the whole assembly, and now it's kind of whacked out. Which is shitty. So I need to try to find somebody who's selling some PCBs or something for the Cycle 7, because I did like the board. I love an FRL TKL, but it got somehow all funked up through that process. Anyway, so I had some time during work today. I scarfed down a sandwich real quick and wanted to get this going before I finish out my work day. Also had a fun time this morning on Chris's stream. It was full of a lot of fun moments. You should look that up if you can. A lot of good-natured ribbing and razzing. That's what I was looking for. Oh, hello. So nice to have folks streaming at all hours these days. Whee! Come to really appreciate when designers do TKL or 60s that use standard PCBs you can buy down the road. Yeah. There we go. Plus, when I got the Cycle 7 originally, I did not know how much I was not going to enjoy flex cuts. Which ended up hurting the experience because it ended up warping because it's so flexy. Which I guess, you can bend PCBs back within certain tolerances, but... that's something you want to have to deal with a lot. Oh, man. I'm taking this board, by the way. I also wanted to rebuild it because I'm taking it to my co-working space tomorrow. And I wanted to show it off. And I thought that Analog Dreams might be a little bit more eye-catching for that. And I'm excited to have people try to pick it up and see how they react when it's like 3 kilograms. All right, grab Ziploc snail box. I love black snail. I think it was just for me, and the way I was feeling yesterday, it felt a little bit like beige overkill once I was like really looking at this a lot. So it may end up migrating back to one of my polycarbonate boards, or a silver board, potentially. But there is a thing, I think, as too much beige, potentially. Let me take off. Or I might need to pick up some of the accent kits, which I think a couple of them at least are in stock on Novel Keys currently. I know the U9 ones aren't, but... Hello, Nana. Welcome back. I know it's only been, 18 hours since I last streamed. I don't think I need... I guess all the alt alphas do go in here, don't they? I got the streaming bug. And I had a free lunch hour. Got the message to say, wake up, babes. Here I am. You are babe. Good to see you, Thuckfather. I also, never stream at this time. So I wanted to give it a go. Well, actually, I used to. Back when I first started and I was streaming Playdate games. I would do that over my lunch break. On Fridays, typically. But I want to get back into streaming games at some point. Probably Switch games. EU-friendly hours, I'm not complaining. Yeah, I know. I feel like a lot of US folks end up streaming later. Like 8 p.m. Eastern or something like that for me, which is usually when I can't tune in. Or I'm just lurking because I'm putting my kid to bed and decompressing on my own time at the end of the day. So I'm watching TV with my partner or playing a video game or reading a book or something. So happy to do something earlier for more folks. Sugar Rush, never heard of these. Yeah, they are a Unikeys and HMX collab. And I almost lost them. I haven't really used them much. But they felt like a good vibe match for Analog Dreams. And as you can see, I've already got one here. And I think I put one in the backspace as well, just to see. Oh, no, that's... What is that? Oh, that was a different test I was doing. This is a Cocoa Black. Which I want to save for... Since they have the diffusers built in, something that's more... top LED friendly. Let's see. windowed scroll lock, I believe, goes into this bag. Okay. There's Black Snail. Analog Dreams on deck here, but go ahead and do some switch removal. Is Black Snail the same as Wob? It is not. It is beige. Beige and a dark slate, kind of. Well, the actual base kit is like a very dark gray. And then I have the alt alphas, which are a beige. But this mango. Mango. Welcome. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the colors. It is, what is it technically, the color code? L9, I believe, is the beige that the Black Snail alt alphas are. And then the bottom of this F1 is U9, which also you can get as a mod kit for Black Snail as well, if you really want to be super matchy-matchy. Hydrate. All right, I'll do it for you. Today we're enjoying a Spindrift Lime Sparkling Water. That I had with my lunch today. That I scarfed down right before streaming. Made myself a sandwich. It is yummy. I like Spindrift. As far as flavored sparkling waters go, I tend to enjoy Spindrift more than a LaCroix. Just because they actually have a little bit more flavor to them, in my experience. It is L9, yeah. Oh, same use in Boneyard. There you go. And I think, at least when I was comparing, I think the beige in Analog Dreams is also L9. At least it looked pretty darn close. So I think that'll be nice on here. But then we can zhuzh it up with the colored legends and the colored mods. The way you throw Thanks. I have a lot of practice from helping my kid pick up Lego parts and like chucking them into the bin. So I think there's some shared muscle memory there. There's my phone keep buzzing. Oh, just a quick work message. There we go. I was tempted to get Black Snail after your stream, but a German vendor started a sale today, and they have the full-size wob kit for $60. Ooh! Is that the old GMK wob or the new one? Like the one that, I mean, granted, the one that Drop used to have? I don't remember. Because I guess GMK is selling wob themselves, aren't they? I don't know for sure about European vendor type things. GMK wob. Oh, it has a key with their logo on it? That seems interesting. Make sure we're all get everything reseated nicely here. I also had a fun adventure with my PCB. After I finished the stream last night, I went to go flash the firmware onto it and did, and then everything was working one key off. And I realized that I had accidentally flashed the solder firmware onto the hot swap PCB, so I had to scramble to get that fixed. But it was very funny for a minute. I was trying to type something and it was just like, I felt drunk because everything was just like one column off, except for, and then kind of like wrapped around weirdly because it was like W was doing backspace. It's weird. Real weird. And then I double checked which firmware I was actually using. Oops. All right. I'm spoiled by things working out of the box. Let me prop this up for now. Firmware woes, I can triple check and still flash the wrong file. Yeah. Thankfully, a quick search in Geon's Discord helped me get that sorted, but so it's like, I don't want to have to go through I don't want to compile my own firmware. I don't have the brain for that. So, got it sorted. Never reloaded! Who was just building an F1 on his channel. Thank you for the raid. That was a beautiful color F1 too. I didn't get... did you end up putting Striker on it? I didn't get that far. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. It's F1 time. Thank you for the follow, Violet. It's a very F1 a full day. And for the follow, Yamanuji. Also, if I ever pronounce your screen name wrong, anyone, feel free to correct me. I will not be offended. I like to refer to people in the ways they prefer. Which color F1? It was like a really nice kind of maroonish red. I don't know what the actual shade is called. At least on camera, that's what it looked like. What switches we using? These are HMX Sugar Rush. They are a 55-gram linear switch. I mean, most HMXs are linear, but I thought it would go nicely with Analog Dreams, which is what we're gonna put on the F1, do a little switcheroo here. Analog Dreams, that's correct. Don't leave. I'm sorry, I didn't know this was a sore spot for you, Mango. Come back. Come back, Mango, I'll make you mod. You have shown you're using your powers for good in other streams, including our tag team on Chris's stream this morning. Yeah, I'll make you mod. Oh, hold on, I just bent the pin. It's an ill omen. I think we're okay. No mod? No, I think Mango only uses her powers for good. Let's see, how do I do this? Mod. There you go. You should have the sword. For good? Well, in my opinion. Mango's never bullied me, so. Oh, you were going to buy Analog Dreams from somebody and they decided against it? Ah, that sucks. That sucks. I don't bully nice people. In fact, I don't bully anybody in self-defense. Save it for the courts. A pink classic TKL. Ooh. Analog Dreams for you, mod for me would say. That's funny. HMX is nice. It can be tough sometimes because there's like so many switches now with like sometimes very little difference between them. Like some might be a recolor of a different one or like a slightly different spring weight or a slightly different material. So it can be a little tough. But now, especially now that they've gotten into tactiles and stuff, so it can be a little bit overwhelming, but I am not up on some of the latest HMX switches. But I've got some favorites. I've really enjoyed like macchiatos and poros. I like jammies. Jellies ended up being too light for me, but well, I've got a bunch. Let me look at some of it. The K01s, which are some light tactiles. Those are very nice. Have those in my Duo 60. The Arowana switches are nice. I've got the reds in my Neo 65. The golds, I just had Extra Prius Please build into a DNWorks 7 for me. Those are really nice. Yeah, the bleeds, cilantros. I know a lot of people like the Sonias as well if you want a little bit of a scratch, like a cherry-esque kind of scratch. Hyacinths, that's the other one. And clouds. Yeah, I've gotten a fair number of HMX switches, but Key Geek intros, I've heard those are nice. Have yet to try any Key Geek switch, actually. Elkwan, hello. Welcome. I like that I can grab cheap used HMX switches on mech markets. Yeah. It's also nice that they're not too expensive to begin with. Let me see. All right. Here we go. Beautiful, sweet and sugary sugar rushes, which I think will be a nice pairing for Analog Dreams. 7 streak. Thanks, Elkwan. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up. The Twitch UI is interesting because it's showing me, like, everybody who rated with Reloaded has extra UI around their name every time they post, and so it's like really stacking things up in a weird way. Okay, I think I caught up. All right. Ugh. Actually, let me wipe my fingerprints off the weight inside. I think I had a microfiber around here someplace. I don't see it now. Let's do the old scuffed sleeve here. Good enough. All right, let's get all our little tubes back in. Yeah, it's a lot. And a lot of the HMXs are famously loud and clacky. Which, if that's your jam, which I've grown to love more than I used to. I like a bit of clack now. I used to be much more like deeper tactile kind of thing was like more of my jam for a long time. And then I've drifted more towards clacky linears over the last couple of years. Now I've gotten some tasteful tactiles back in my life on the lighter end typically, but oh, Sunset Gleams. Yeah, I like those a lot too. I think I have those in my Key Cult Zero. Let's see. Which is also in this beautiful tauper bag. Let's see. This is what I usually take to my co-working space. Boba U4Ts. Yeah, those are nice too. Oh no, these are jammies. Where are my Sunset Gleams? I used to have Sunset Gleams in here. I'm having the Chris problem of not knowing where any of my shit is. Sunset Gleams. Oh, they're in my universe. Never mind. They're in the typeface universe right now. Which is back there. Back behind me, which you can't see. But I'll show it off. I like that board a lot. There's the universe. Whee! With some DMG on it. Such a fun board. I love the layout on this. It's a lot like the PAL, but unlike the PAL, this is not stuck in manufacturing hell. And they've run like 2 or 3 rounds of this at this point. Or just 2, maybe. But, yeah. Very clacky. I like it a lot. It's so fun and compact. All right. There we go. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Stand it up to here. Just get a little bit of tight. So we don't over compress any particular part. I have to say, I really do like the coating that Geon did on this version, although it does, I feel like, trap a little bit of like little dust bits on it sometimes. It's a very fine textured coating, which is kind of nice. I'm used to a little bit of a more pronounced, rougher one on like some of the spray coatings that like Matrix uses. I should have done that one. I'm going to stop looking at the Geon site so I'm not tempted. It's tough. Is there you said you were in the EU, Nana? Is there more a regional vendor who sometimes stocks Geon stuff? I feel like myself, you don't need a second N1. Because I know like Divinity here in the US will stock Geon stuff sometimes. And I've done F1 drops and stuff before, which is a little bit easier. I got in the hobby a month ago. I didn't really... Oh, well, welcome to the hobby. I didn't start diving into keyboard streams for a while after I got into the hobby. It gets expensive? Yeah, no joke. So you've been in the hobby for a month and you have an F1? That is amazing. That is great. That's a great place to start. Honestly. Like this, I just got this yesterday. And this is like my 45th board or something like that at this point. Some of those have been for other people and some I've given away, but the F1 I bought used was vended by Delta Key. Oh, okay. Spent way too much these past few weeks. Been in the hobby since 2021 and refused to leave. It's fun. And it's been constantly evolving too, which has been nice to see. Granted, I pay a lot more attention to the hobby in the last 2 years than I have a lot before, just because I've been more invested in like doing streaming and all that kind of stuff. But I have a Pangea Mini, an F1, a Haven TKL, and a Bias. That's a fantastic collection for a month. Enjoying the Gahern 60, Synovia, and Manta group buys. All right. Which are yeah, a Tofu? Yeah, that's what I started with. I had a Tofu 65. Tofu, an acrylic Tofu 65, soldered with unlubed Cherry MX Browns. Fun budget is gone. Yeah. Yeah, I've been much more strict about my budget as well. I had a purple Tofu 60 with GAT yellows that I overlubed. Easy to do. Yeah, thankfully, lubing switches, I know that a lot of people enjoy modding switches. That is one aspect of the hobby I have not enjoyed so far. I did lube one set of switches once, and since then have gladly paid others to do that or buy really good stock stuff. It's like, this is one aspect of the hobby that is not for me. To be fair, I bought a Keychron Q6 4 years ago, happily mained that until last month. Hey, nothing wrong with Keychron. I also had a K1 for a bit with blues in it. Find lubing switches relaxing. Do you take commissions, Mal? Would you ever consider that? Because I would gladly pay other people to mod switches for me. Let me put the feet back on. Don't like lubing switches either. Just did lube some cream sodas. Oh yeah, I put them away already. I was also testing out some cream sodas in this board as well. But at least to my ear, I feel like cream sodas shine with an even harder plate, like carbon fiber or something. At least to my ears, that's what they prefer. If people in the EU want someone else to lube them, we'll gladly do it. So I imagine it's also the kind of thing, because you can kind of set up a system, right? Where, you're separating, the tops and bottoms and springs, and you can bag lube those, and then you can kind of assembly line it and kind of like do something else while you're doing it, right? Like you can kind of get into a rhythm or a flow state. I would have preferred to try out a bunch of boards at a meetup or something, but there's no local scene. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, I totally empathize because where I live in the U.S., there are also no meetups. At least, like, the one that's closest in my state stopped the year I really got into the hobby. The year I was like, hey, this is the year I'm going to go to meetups. And then they didn't do it that year, and they've kind of ceased operation. The group that was kind of organizing it was in Detroit. I live in Michigan. So they're kind of the Detroit. There's still like a lot of people in that scene, but the group that was like organizing the meetup like stopped. So yeah, my first actual meetup was last year when I went to the Novel Keys meetup. And then this year I'm going to KeyCon in Chicago, since I can get there. I can get there pretty easily too. But yeah. We'd had one every month, so I have to check out. Perfect timing. Nearest is in Germany. Well, at least I wonder if they do another. Are they going to do another like Novel Keys GMK meetup in Germany this year? I don't know if they've announced anything about that yet. But I imagine there's got to be other meetups in Germany too, right? Seems like they have them like all the time in California, in different places. Big and small. All right. We'll do one in April. Okay. I have hosted a couple very small events at my co-working space here in West Michigan, which was actually to do a lot like what you mentioned, Nana, because I was like, we have like a little thing where like people can talk about and show off things they're really interested in at my co-working space. And so I did it was the first a couple of years ago, and then I did one last year as well, where I brought in all my keyboards and made little event cards with all the info on them and had them all laid out in like a big conference room. And then people could just come and try them. Because I wanted to be that same kind of resource of like, to someone who's not in this hobby or not like saturated with it, you don't know what the hell any of these words mean or like any of these acronyms, mounting styles, plate materials, like switch stuff that makes switches different from each other. And so I wanted to be that resource that I never had when I was joining the hobby of like, hey, this is what all of this means. Here's a bunch of different boards you can try, and you can like figure out if there's certain things layouts you like, or you like this kind of keycap profile, you like the feel of this switch, blah 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 blah, and kind of like run the gamut. We had like macro pads and a couple 40%, and all the way up to, I guess we did have a full size, so yeah. So yeah, it was really fun. I would love to turn that into something more regular in my area of like, hey, a regular kind of keyboard meetup type thing. And friend of the channel, Master's Bedroom, who's also local, was able to come and bring some boards, which is where I got to type on an F1 for the first time, because he has an F1. Ooh, Analog Dreams. So, we'll see. I would love to do something more regular with that in the future. But, yeah, look at that. That is nice. Would have loved something like that. Thankfully, people in the hobby have been very welcoming and patient. Yeah. That is like one thing I've really liked about this hobby too. Like by and large, people are not assholes. There are some very loud assholes sometimes, or, gatekeepy types, or people who belittle you or something because you didn't understand something and asked a question. But by and large, that has not been my experience, at least in the keyboard circles that I frequent, and that's really nice. I think there's some people who have kind of a superiority mindset about it, or even some of that like the height of COVID hobby scarcity stuff of like, hey, if there's more people in the hobby, then that's going to be harder for me to get this exclusive raffle thing. Like I think their brains got cooked a little bit, maybe from COVID, but also just from like some of that collector mindset of being in the hobby, I think still lingers too, of wanting to gatekeep because then you could potentially be less likely to get the thing you want or whatever. That may just be some speculation on my part, but nice. Yeah, I love... Yeah, these beiges are very... I think this is an L9. And so that goes really well with this top as well. So even with like the darker beige, I think it still is a good match. We'll do a novelty probably for up here. Got to remember what all I got in here. We've got caps lock. Got our stepped caps. Well, this doesn't have LEDs on the top, though. They're all underglow. So, yeah, having a windowed one doesn't really make sense. But, I mean, aesthetically, maybe, but... Looks sick. Thank you. Yeah, I do, too. Like, black snail... Don't get me wrong, I love black snail. But, like, so beige, just beige, beige, beige. After looking at it more last night, after I built it and getting more acclimated to it, and like typing on it, I was like, it's a little too beige for me, I think. I sometimes prefer beige on, like if I'm going to go like beige on something neutral, I like beige on silver, I think, more than beige on beige, honestly. Let's see. We do got a couple little Windows buddies, but I'm not a Windows guy. I gotta think, which... I'll probably do one of these, like, statue heads for the escape. Or I could do a dolphin. Or this vintage computer. A lot of fun colors to choose from. Somebody messaging me. Oh, it's Divinity. Is it the G... oh! Alert! F1 alert! Divinity. They have a bunch of F1 restocks happening right now. Which I knew was going to be happening, but we got more PCBs. We got more plates, including... They have the aluminum 1.1 plates, so that's what I got in here. But they've also got PP, POM, PC, FR4, and plateless kits. And then PCBs. A bunch of other Geon stuff, like Geon wires, Hall effect switches. Ooh, and they also restocked some TX stuff, too. Woo! Run, don't walk to Divinity. Might be doomed. Well, I remember you mentioning, yeah, you were going to get some... Because you got the Apollo hot swap PCB, right? For your F1? And a solder one? Yeah, half plate would hit hard. I'm working my way up to soldering. So I do want to try a half plate. So I might end up... well, let me go ahead and open this link so I can buy some stuff after my stream. Oh, man. That yellow PCB is so pretty. I got the raw one. I might have to get another. Okay, so they do have the Apollo. Oh, they also have a 7U with per key RGB. Woo! All right, hold on. We're going to pause a second. I'm going to put some stuff in my cart. Let's see. We'll do another hot swap. Let's add another solder PCB. We'll add the yellow one. Add to cart. Let's see. Anything else? Plateless kit. Another solder PCB. I wonder how another plate would sound. POM, PC, FR4. I like aluminum so much, though. Plateless, oh yeah, it is just PCB snaps. They call it the plateless kit, but it is just like those brackets. Maybe I'll throw another plate in the mix just for kicks and giggles. I think I do like aluminum best. Has anyone tried a different plate material in the F1? How does it sound? Stuck with the alu. Want to try that eventually. You do have an FR4? Yeah. I'm not usually an FR4 fan. But I might be coming around it in the right context, because the Float 65 also just went live today, and that uses FR4 only, and that sounds pretty good. But it's also such an interesting like open air thing. I don't know if that helps it feel more resonant than usual. Yeah, FR4 can be a bit soft for me. Same. I know. I'm also bummed that it doesn't have an EU vendor. I'm hoping that if it does well, maybe they'll do another round and open it up to more regions. Let's do step. There it is. It's so cool. I already went ahead and got in on the caution orange one. Yeah, me too. Yeah, space was a big bummer. Space and lubed and all that stuff. I don't think it was necessarily around the same time. It feels like that in my memory, like being around the same time. Of like multiple vendors going under at the same time. And space was kind of out of nowhere. Yeah, I didn't even have much. I think I only had like an artisan ordered from them at the time. Lubed, I had multiple things. But I think it was the event, one of the Event Horizon Artisans that Space was running, like the aluminum one, the raw aluminum one. What if I did, because yellow doesn't show up a ton, but purple would look really good. Never ordered from Lude, but I have a couple things from Space. They went under and pretty friendly to take orders for float, but I could be wrong. Oh, Salvin is running it. That's excellent. I had no idea because the Omnitype page didn't say. Thanks for the info, Yamanuji. So this is another reason why I love streaming. Because, like, I try to stay up on stuff, but there's no way you can know everything. And so you can crowdsource a lot of info. And it's nice. Hive Mind. Love my playlist. Oh, thanks. This is actually based on a DJ set by a Seattle artist named Bobby Ganoush. And he does a lot of really great, like, funk, city pop stuff and makes really great mixes for that. So I like to put that stuff on. Do I have the link? Yes. Hold, please. Hold on. Let me pull out an emergency keyboard. Break in case of emergency, DCS vomit. This is a Hebe June. And I did, for Black Friday last year, I bought one of the 5-pound bags of grab bag keycaps from Signature Plastics. And so then I did a couple streams where I was just sorting through them and putting them on board. So I've got a bunch of DCS on this one. I've got a bunch of SA on a classic TKL back there. Yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And I have so many keycaps still. It's wild. DCS is good. I actually just saw the interest check for Solar Green, which is beautiful as well. Let me see. Bobby! I won't know if this is exactly the same set, but this will lead you to the other ones. He's done stuff with this, with Humano to do these sets. So let me throw this in here. So I play multiple ones of the sets, but this is one of them, and it'll take you to the others. This is June? Yeah, this is a June. See? This is the Monster Fuzz colorway. Whee! Such a great board. I'll leave it plugged in just in case I need it. Been looking for DCS Windbreaker the longest time. Oh, I know. It's so, I mean, like, I've been looking for that, and I've been looking for DCS Sport Walker because I love yellow so much. And this is actually from Sport Walker, so I was so happy this was in the grab bag. But anyway, I did get in on GMK Windbreaker, but it's not quite the same, you know. Let's see, print scroll pause. Ugh. Until some of these keycaps I haven't used yet. Because I had these on an FRL TKL before, so I never had these. NK has pre-sales? Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't know exactly what the... I can't remember what the expected completion status is for that, but... There we go. Q2? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that seems about right, because I ordered it... When did I order it? Oops, too far. I went down to my artisans in my spreadsheet. Let's see, no, GMK Windbreaker. I ordered that October 10th. So I've got a lot of sets on order right now. We've got probably the oldest that hasn't come yet is Motif, because they're still doing color stuff with that, I guess. Motif, Kaiju Round 3, Gorp, Windbreaker, Unobtainium Blue, MT New Foundation, DCS After School, 1992, DCS Orange on Beige, and DCS UFO. We got a lot of keycaps coming. And these group buys just don't stop. Plus all the new, I don't know if you saw, all the new swag keys sets that are in the works. DCS UFO is sick, indeed. I didn't need to, but I went in on every kit on DCS UFO, which took a decent chunk out of my hobby budget for this quarter. But DCS After School is really cool. It is a 40s kit, so bear that in mind. I think it's the last day for it, actually, too. Maybe. It might be the last day for After School. It's based on a set that I think Norbauer had run, but he did not give permission to do a full set. Only the 40s, as far as I'm aware. So. Was too much of a coward to commit a 200 for the base alphas novelties. Yeah, it was a lot. I did base alphas 2 novelties. The Bay, the 10U spacebar, the 40s kit. I wanted to be as flexible with it as possible. Alt alphas, the whole thing, so I could almost get 2 base kits out of it, I think. Especially having never tried DCS. Yeah, that's a big ask if you're not sure if you like it or not. Oh, I do like the sound of these sugar rushes on here. It's also a little bit of a lighter spring weight than the Obscuras were. Are there other colors of the arrows? Or is it just the cyan? Okay, I wasn't sure. Maybe that was an add-on kit at some point. But I do need... delete. Is this the right row? I think it is. Delete and page down and end. I think it looks good too. I'm a big fan of it so far. Although I could throw some dolphins in the mix. I forgot I have these. Could do some row 1 dolphins. Yeah, that is looking hot. So let's see, do I want to add any yellow into the mix? I am a yellow fan. Not as much of pastel yellows, but what would that be like? No, I don't love its tone next to the beige as much as the purple. So I think we can avoid those. I like this pinkish purple on the beige more than the pastel yellow. So maybe, what do we got? We got a save. Do we want to add in some other stuff to the top row over here? Maybe the cyan versions. We'll swap these out. Oh, Race just went live. That's nice. Let's do... We'll do save, or the disk, dolphin, computer. Time for dinner. Enjoy your dinner. What are you going to make, Mango? Or have? Yeah, I'm digging this more than either the Granites or Obscura, honestly. I think this is a better fit. I might have to take some pictures with some of the keys removed so you can see Sugar Rush through here. Although, okay, first off, I am a Mac user. But I'm tempted to rearrange these and throw the little Windows keys on here because they are cute. And it is like retro. Could do a little purple. Wait, is there only one blue in there? Oh no, there's two. I was like, ugh! What do we think? Kimchi stew and pan-fried fish, that sounds amazing. There is a burger place here that I love that makes kimchi fries. Oh my god. They're so good. Hey Mango, look, Analog Dreams. Oh dear. Be nice to Mango. If you wanted to replace the escape keycap, would you remove the top frame? I'm worried about scratching the frame. I am very careful. This is also like a thicker coat on this than an anodization. So I'm usually like very, very careful. If I'm doing just like a one-off key, I don't often take off the top case, but if I'm doing a full replacement, I usually do, just to avoid scratches. You say blue reloaded? All right. Yep, I think that was the correct call. Keep the contrasting focus on the escape and the enter. Correct. Good job, everyone. You passed the test. Upside down. This is sick. I agree. I wish I had done this last night. I thought about it, and I should have followed my heart and done it first. Move some stuff out of the way here. Whoop. There we go. We'll remove our emergency keyboard. Yeah, that does look really nice. Let me zoom in a tad here. And let's see, let's move a couple things. And then this way I can get a new thumbnail or something out of it. There we go. Good enough. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by on this quick little lunch stream. rearrange a couple things. I realized I didn't actually check out a Divinity, so we'll see if any of the things that I wanted are still in stock. But yeah, we'll be definitely be doing more F1 tinkering in the future. I have a friend who is modding some Nixies for me. And then when Gorp comes in, I think I want to rebuild this with those Nixies and Gorp. And maybe by then I will have worked my way up to actually soldering like I plan to. So I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for coming. And have a good rest of your day. Oh wait, I want to raid somebody. I think Rice is streaming now. Hold on, let me check. Let me jump over and see. Oh, Menu's streaming too. Let's stream Rice. Or raid Rice. Let me see. Raid. If I can spell correctly. All right, here we go. Jump in if you want. They're playing Overwatch right now, but they also do fun keyboard stuff sometimes. So head over there and give them a follow. Bye-bye.